Hey, what's up? This is Christian S. Valentino. So I'm over here with the podcast George and Joelle from Llave.
Hello, everyone.
So we just wrapped up my first podcast in a long time. Actually, there's some things that I've shared in the podcast that I haven't shared anywhere else. So I'm actually really excited to kind of have them release a lot of my secrets.
I think we popped his cherry. He's climax and stuff, and he's told us very personal things on this podcast. How'd you feel, man?
I felt like a lot of the things I've only shared with very close friends, but I haven't really shared very publicly some of these things that, even at the height of being one of the top dating coaches in Las Vegas on the cover of Vegas 7 magazine, there were still a few things that I just felt like I couldn't share, and I just kind of hid it from everyone else. So I definitely appreciate you guys just kind of getting me on the podcast and sharing, being very open about my experience and my story.
Yeah, we're really thankful for you opening up and sharing your time and all your information with us.
You know what, and I don't know the content, I don't know the background and stuff, but I feel like there was this telenovela in the making. If you guys don't know what a telenovela is and stuff, it's a soap opera, because this guy has so much to give, so much knowledge, and every time he started on a topic or started talking about something, I was like, holy shit, this is going to branch off with this whole thing. And it did. It continued to branch off. And we wanted to talk about it more and stuff, but I think you guys are in a treat and stuff. This guy has the knowledge and stuff and the insight. How did that come about, man?
I feel like there was definitely a lot of stuff in my background as I felt pretty shy, pretty introverted, and especially in the religion that I grew up in, it was very conservative. So I felt there was just a lot of limiting beliefs that I grew up with, a lot of sticking points. At the time growing up, it was useful, but then as an adult, and especially living in Vegas and just kind of having my own freedom of expression, it just limited a lot of those things. So I just felt there were certain things that helped me kind of break out of those limitations, and so I can express myself fully and really not have an e-brake holding me back to the life I wanted.
You think that e-brake was more like a parachute, that safety net, that in case things got too scary or, I was about to hit the ground and stuff, I could always pull this ejection parachute seat, whatever the situation is?
Yeah, no, so I definitely felt like there were certain things, restrictions that I have kind of, because of these beliefs that I had, was that, so I just wouldn't risk or get in trouble or do things that would jeopardize me long term with relationships or with women. So, but I kind of feel like I'm being a little bit abstract, but there was just a lot of things in the podcast. We talk about how, I don't want to quite give out all the secrets, the things that was holding me back. But I felt like even though back in 2010, I got on the cover of 7 magazine, I was a machine as far as approaching women, getting numbers, setting up dates, but there were certain aspects of developing the relationships with women that I couldn't cross because of certain religious beliefs. And there were certain things that I held myself back, and experiences I held myself back. And until I had certain breakthroughs that I shared in the podcast, that once I had those breakthroughs, then I was able to really express myself and not have any guilt and shame.
Be free.
Yeah, 100%. So.
Well, and a lot of it actually is about, coming to sync with yourself, knowing yourself and stuff. And he's mentioned it, and I'm starting to feel and stuff like we know the secret now, and you guys are about to find out, but you guys got to subscribe. Right?
Yeah.
You got to build onto your foundation. You got to start with yourself. What do you truly want? What do you truly want trying to get out of life? And you talked about that, though.
Yeah. So, I feel like so many people, especially in different cultures, or if you grew up in a religion, or if you grew up in a specific location area, whatever that culture has its kind of rules and standards and ways to operate. And, at the end of the day, it's your life. You get to, when you die and you're on your deathbed, you're going to look back at your life and you got to think to yourself, are you going to be satisfied living other people's expectations or living your own life on your own terms and how you want it? Did you consciously develop your own lifestyle and your own kind of experiences? or did you just follow somebody else's cookie cutter recipe of how you should live your life?
Yeah.
Amen. Preach, brother. And we talk about this and stuff on the Llave podcast. It's your path. Your path is destined for you. It's not destined for someone else.
Yeah.
Again, just because you're told to graduate, go to college, get the house, get the dog, get the family, get married, is that going to make you happy? And we talked about one of my best friends and stuff. That didn't make her happy and stuff, but she was at her peak. She followed that guidebook to a T, and at the end she realized, you know what? I'm still not happy. What else do I have to pursue?
What do I change?
What do I change? And Joelle talks about this and stuff. And she's like the most positive, affirmative person and stuff. Is you got to follow your path.
Thank you.
And Christians telling you, you gotta dig deep inside. You gotta start your foundation and build from that. Though, just because you come from a different background, just because from a different history or different upbringing, doesn't mean you can't build up on that. Because at the end of the day, guess what? That's your path. That's your lifestyle, and people are gonna accept you who you are, and you can't
And if they
change
don't,
it.
it's okay.
Can I say
On
something?
to the next one.
How censored are we this? Fuck you. Live your life.
Yeah, on to the next one. So I'm super excited to share with you with the podcast. So there's probably going to be a link below. Subscribe to their podcast. Check their stuff out.
Yes, please.
Talk to you guys soon.
Bye, everybody. Look forward to all
Love
of
you.
you tuning in to La Llave podcast.
Absolutely.
Remember, never place your key to happiness, success, and peace in anyone else's pocket but yours. Bye, everybody.